The first one.
Oh, we're live.
We're live.
We are got a good show here tonight.
First one wins a prize tonight.
Is that how you want to do it?
We got 4 people on first
We have
one.
4 people. Who's the first comment? Let's see here. Sean.
Boom.
Got it.
Angel. Tarpy.
You know Tarby's gonna be watching. Apparently Tyler, we're gonna have to start giving Tyler crap because he's gonna be close to losing his top fan badge. Apparently, spending time with his lady friends a little bit more important than coming on here and chatting with us. Man, John Lindsay's in the house. Whew, big shooters tonight.
Team Arkassippi. Thank you for the shout out, John. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I gotta share
Rick,
this here.
Robin. Angel.
Rick, Robin. Man, we're just growing. The numbers are going up. Michael Fay's on. Wow. So while we got everyone on here, man, we got some of our SDA, local SDA family. Dave, you ought to give them the announcement here tonight.
For what?
You ought to give them the good news about Boost Your Barbecue.
Oh, sorry. Threw me off. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Boost Your Barbecue. They are now carrying the Arkassippi combo. Swing on over there. Check them out. Good price. $40. Can't beat that.
No, you can't. And if you use the discount code QChat at checkout, you save 10% on that.
Yeah.
So you're getting the Arkassippi combo for $36.
It's a good
you
deal.
Can't beat that.
Can't beat that.
Can't beat that at all.
Step up your game. Get some Arkassippi combo in your life.
Oh, we also, man, we got Rolf. We got top 25 in the country for SCA on right now.
Congratulations on that.
Yes, congratulations, Rolf. That's awesome.
Seen that. Ron, why are you driving and watching at the same time?
Ron, that's not safe, man.
Come on, Ron.
We are on Spotify and iTunes if you decide to have to listen to the podcast. We're not going to be offended. Don't worry, you're more of a top fan than Tyler is at this point. But man, we got 28 people, so we gotta thank you all somehow, some way, for all the support and everything you've given us. So I've got 2 of these that we got to find a way to give away that we're gonna do this week here. Jelly beans not included. I already ate the jelly beans, so they are not included with this. But we're gonna have to give some thermal pops away.
Also, Jake and I have talked about it. We'd like to do a meat raffle. Nothing crazy, nothing big. We're gonna get a Wagyu gold brisket. We want to do a raffle. We're not looking to make much money off of it. It just kind of help us to be able to boost it on Spotify and iTunes and things like that. If it's something you guys are interested in, chime in the comments tonight. If it is, then we'll go with it.
Keith called you out for your tea.
That's cool. I like my green tea with a little honey in it.
Oh, man. All right. Well, we're up to 30 people here. We got some huge hitters in the house here tonight. And we've got a really good guy on here. We made a really weird connection over the phone whenever I talked to him. But we got a really cool guy, part of Team Arkassippi. Let's give it up here for Jim Hudgins. How you doing, Jim?
Yay, Team Arkassippi. Marcus team.
America's team.
Oh, man. You're here in the Mid-Atlantic. You can't be talking about that. Oh, man. Oh, don't talk, Siri. How you been, Jim?
Been doing good. Been doing
good.
Trying to stay as warm as we can, but trying to get over this lull till the next comp, which isn't till February, but it's all good.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, thank you for coming on the show here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure.
We've seen you lurking in the comments, and we had to have you on because someone who's hiding in there, you gotta be on the show. So
we challenged all of Arkassippi Nation. I see you know, one of my bosses is on here, and several of my teammates. So we're trying to work this to get your show out there because it is a great show. So
thank you.
So, well, Jim, we'll start this off how we do every show, man. How did you get into barbecue? How did you get into cooking?
It was an accident. When I moved to Tennessee, I went to work out here at the Navy base, and back then they were doing an MBN competition every year. And we used to go out there and hang out. Well, then the Navy had a falling out with MBN, and KCBS came in. So I took a judging class just so I could be involved with KCBS, and went to a couple and judged a couple. And I was like, I could turn out better Q than this. So I threw my hat in the ring and I started cooking and found out, yeah, not so much. So it's a little harder than it sounds. But so I started cooking. I started judging about 05 or 06, and started cooking barbecue in probably 07. So never been one of the big winners or whatever, just one of the middle of the pack guys that finds a top 10 call every now and then. It's just been fun, and I did it, on purpose, 100% without any sponsors, because I didn't want to be beholden to sponsors on Friday night, feeding them and all of that. I wanted that to be a party, and yeah, that's proved to bite me a couple of times, but it's still all been fun.
So, what did you start off cooking on back in 2007?
When I decided to do this, I actually called, it's a company, I don't know if they're still in business or not, in Alabama, called Greasy Hill Customs. And I had a reverse flow stick burner custom built. And I started with that. And after about a year, I was like, Jesus Christ, I got to feed this way too much. So I moved over to pellets for a while, and then I finally ended up with drums is what I cook on today.
All right.
Okay.
I love the hot and fast.
Yeah. Seems like that's where everybody's going anymore. A lot of drums.
Yeah. I mean, I get to sleep on Friday night, and you don't have to worry about dealing with your drums till 5, 6 in the morning, and you're golden. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, how long did you still cook at KCBS, or are you more focused on the SCA side of things now?
This past year has been more focused on SCA, only because in my travel in my area, all of our comps canceled, all but one that I wanted to cook. And since it was in Savannah, Tennessee, I just knew it was going to cancel. And when they finally gave it to all go, it was too late to order meat. So I just went and judged it because I couldn't cook it. So,
okay.
And then it looks like this year too, if I can work it out, my first one this year, unless Wynn, Arkansas, or something like that comes on, it's probably going to be Pussyq.
Okay. A lot of guys going to that.
It's too much money to not. And I judged it. Well, it canceled last year, but year before last, I judged it, and man, it's an awesome party. It's an awesome show. I don't know if the casino learned a lesson, but after the thing was over, they had an open bar for all judges and all teams, and I saw when they were tallying up the receipts at the end of the night, and they were. I don't know if we ran them broke or not, but we tried.
Man, that's the point of an open bar, just run it dry.
Yeah.
But so are you cooking on Gateway drums or Ugly drums? There's a couple different brands out there. What are you cooking on with drums?
I have a Gateway. I have an original one from a local guy here, Mike Brinkman, aka Uncle Pookie. I have one of those. And my next 2 drums, they don't make. I want a Mayo drum. They don't make them anymore, but I know where I can get my hands on one still. And I want that one because a full size steam pan fits in it, so it makes it easy for chicken.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then a new sponsor for Arkassippi Smoke Live, short rib drum smokers. Looking into one of those as well. So if I can get the Mayo, I can go out there with 3 drums or 4 drums would make it super simple, and I can cook everything you want all day long, and not have to worry about it.
Nice.
Absolutely. So are you cooking every meat on a different drum, or how do you have your setup?
Yeah, I not right now. I'm not, because I don't have enough drums to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But my brisket usually comes off, because I can do a brisket in roughly 5 hours. So if you got it off and you got it in the Cambro holding, then your ribs can go right on that. And right now, because the pans won't fit on the smoker like I like, I'm still using a pellet for my chicken, because I can still get the heat up there way high, and the pans fit in there. So
what's your way high? What temperature are you cooking at?
I usually cook my chicken between 3 and 325.
Wow.
Yeah. That way I can crisp the skin off. And I learned actually from watching a YouTube from, I don't know if you know him, but I'm sure you know who he is, Eric Lee from Fire Dancer Barbecue.
Yeah. Yep.
I watched the video with him and Malcolm, and he doesn't scrape his fat off the skins or anything, and I'm like, oh shit, I got to try that. So he found a way to do it without, and it works really well. So that's what I've been doing the last little while.
Wow. Interesting.
I played with legs. I suck with legs. So,
we just learned legs not too long ago.
We just did a crash course on legs.
Man, getting them right in a comp. My hat's off to those guys that do it, and I have judged legs that have first placed, but I can't do it. My legs aren't nowhere near competition worthy yet. The bite through skin on a leg is tough, because it inherently wants to pull off already.
Yeah. We were noticing that whenever we were cooking them just south sometimes, and he said it because we didn't brine them and do all that kind of other stuff to them, but you could tell it was a little tougher to not have bite through skin on.
Yeah, there's a lot to it.
What are you running your brisket and your pork temperatures at?
I cooked the brisket is running about 300, and the pork butt's about the same.
Okay.
And then I don't temp my brisket, but typically I have the color I'm looking for on the drum at about the 2-hour mark. Wow. And I'm wrapping or shortly thereafter, and then that's when I start temping and probing.
Now, for doing 5 hours of 300, are you splitting it, separating the fat and the point, or you're doing the whole thing in 5 hours?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then what I'll do is I'll cut the point off, and then it'll go back on for the burnt ends. But here's the deal with me. I don't turn in burnt ends, because I have seen burnt ends make a box. I have seen more often than not burnt ends kill a box. So, but I make them. You're welcome to come to my trailer and eat them all day long, but the judges aren't getting them. So, pitmaster food, I guess.
Yeah.
What's your average size brisket that you're cooking?
I like to do a 16-pounder when I can.
Now, is this Snake River Farms or is this Prime?
Usually, and I have used Creekstone in the past, but Snake River Farms, and I usually do the Gold Wagyu when I can. Okay. And I tell you, that's where the high temperatures in that Wagyu, it helps render that fat way better, because it is so marble. The higher temperatures tend to work well with the Wagyu.
Okay, very cool. Well, we're not gonna. John's telling you not to give all the secrets away. So we're gonna stop asking about that. I'm fascinated with drum cooking, man. How everyone's switching over to it. So I'm always wondering what people do their temps at, what they, whether they're doing the whole, they're doing the split. Because I'm running about 275 on my smoker, and I don't use a drum. I have a 270, but I keep it at 275 and I split it. But anyone who can do a whole packer in 5 hours, that's impressive. That's very impressive.
I don't know. I cheat. I do use a barbecue guru. So
okay.
I don't have to fool. You lift your lid, it spikes, but with the guru, it comes back really quick. So
yeah, for sure. So you mentioned you also do some judging. You do KCBS and SCA judging.
Yeah, I'm a KCBS master judge and table captain, and I'm also a KCBS judge. Nowhere near prime because I'd rather cook than judge SCA when I can.
Absolutely. So tell us about that. Tell us, you were telling me some pretty crazy judging stories, like at Jack and at Tusa Q and all these other kind of places.
I've had the privilege of, I think it's 15, 16, 17, and 18 of being at the Jack 4 years in a row.
Wow.
First 2 years I was a judge. The second 2 years I was table captain and also check teams in. So I got to meet all the pro teams, all my heroes, Myron and Tuffy and, Kiss the Rings and all that good stuff. So it was awesome. But I had the opportunity this one time. I was table captaining, and Mr. Mike Mills was at my table, and we talked a long time, and became what I consider to be a good friend. I mean, I wouldn't show up to the house and ask could I spend the night, but I thought we were pretty good friends, barbecue friends.
Yep.
Well, he and Jeff Arnett, who was the Jack Daniel's master distiller at the time, were over there, and we're between categories, and they're jaw jacking and carrying on, and this, that, and the other thing. Well, it's time to judge this next category, and they're still talking. So I walk up to them like, they're just regular people on the street, and I told Jeff Arnett, I said, Jeff, I love you guys to death, but if you ain't signing Jack Daniel's bottles, you got to get the hell out of here. We got to get this category done because there's 7 categories at the Jack. So you don't have a whole lot of time.
Yeah. I bet that's about as intense judging as it is competing in it.
It is. You really got to pace yourself or, whatever. And then you're at the table with, because they have a judging class at the Jack every year. And, they bring in celebrity. You might be judging next to a world-renowned chef, and I have, and country stars and TV stars, and they're just if you've never been to the Jack, even as a spectator, man, you need to go. That's something to not be missed. It's awesome.
Walk us through this. Dave and I, in about 3 weeks, are going to become certified KCBS judges. What's it like from someone who's competed and judged? What's it like on the day of getting ready for a big competition to judge that, like the Jack? What goes into that? What's it? Is it kind of like as pumped up as it is to compete in it as it is to judge it?
Yeah, kind of. Especially from my point. Some of the judges maybe not so much, but I also volunteer and we help. So we're there helping set up tables and check in teams, and so we're there 2, 3, 4 days before the actual show. So you're involved in just about every facet, from building the swag bags that they give out to making sure people get all the right credentials to get up on Barbecue Hill. It's just like you're working at fever's pitch, and then you really don't have time to realize, and then it's the day of, and it's like, oh crap, we're finally here. And then when the food starts coming in, like the desserts especially, and they have a category called Cooking from the Homeland for the international teams, and I think it's called Chef's Choice or something for the United States teams. And I mean, they'll bring in trays 3 feet wide, just full of, oh my God, you're gonna eat stuff you never will eat again. So I mean, it's an awesome ride. It's a really awesome ride. I was honored to be able to do it the 4 years that I did it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then that's a totally deal. I would love to tell you how to get into Judge the Jack, but I got emails from Jack Daniels saying you've been selected. It was just, I don't know if they do it a random lottery or I don't know how they do it, but they do it.
Wow. Now, were you a master judge before you went to the Jack to judge it, or?
I got my master judge at the Jack the first
Oh,
time.
wow. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they don't. I mean, yeah, it's not a 100% master judge thing like Sam's Club used to be or some of the others. But, everybody has a shot. You
Yeah.
take the class, next month or next week or whenever it is, you'll have a shot at next year's Jack. It's
Yeah.
just the luck of the draw. You'll come home and open your emails one day or go to your mailbox and there'll be a letter in there on Jack Daniel's letterhead, and you'll be like, you'll probably fall to your knees because it's that.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
said.
Holy shit! I made it to the show. I'm not cooking, but I'm going.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So it is about as exciting to judge it as it is to cook it. That's really really cool.
especially because the way you got picked.
Mhm.
It's such an honor that somewhere your name crossed somebody's desk and they remembered it, and you ended up in a letter somehow. I
So
don't
you
know
don't
how
have
it works.
you don't sign up or nothing. I mean, it's just like a lottery draw.
Yeah, I assume so. Like I said, I don't know how it works behind the scenes. I
Yeah,
just know I was lucky enough to go 4 years in a row.
that's awesome.
So I
No,
may
that's
never go back
really
again,
cool.
but they can't take those ones from me.
Absolutely.
No, sir. No, sir. Wow. So, do you feel like if you haven't judged it 4 times or been a part of judging for 4 times, do you think if you got invited to compete in it, you do pretty well?
No, I would.
Really?
I will tell you this: I will do my very best, and I don't go to lose. If I lose or if I place badly, it is what it is. But I don't go there saying, if I could shoot for 25th place. Hell no, I'm shooting for first like everybody else.
Absolutely.
Same mistake. Team Arkassippi, they're all my friends and good friends. But for that 30, 45 minutes or whatever, I'm trying to whip their ass just like they're trying to beat mine.
Yep. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep, for sure. So let's slide into that, Jim. How did you get into cooking SCAs?
To be honest, I don't remember exactly.
Mark Plummer.
Marge, I don't know if you know who Marge Plummer is. She's a little old lady about this tall that will drink both of you guys under the table. She's really big in the KCBS, really, really, really big in the KCBS, and I guess she's the one that talked me into doing steak. So I was lucky. We had a barbecue comp at the Variety Club we used to do every year. And one year they had a steak comp, and I was lucky. I walked 5th place in my first ever steak comp. And then it's done nothing but get expensive from there.
So you're how many SCAs do you typically do a year? Last year not really included.
I did more this year because I retired last September. So I was able to do a few more, and I did 32 this year, I think.
Wow.
And I'm probably on par to do at least that again this coming year.
Nice.
Wow. Now, what are you cooking on for SCAs? I saw you got a spaceship laying down in the bed of your truck the other day, but what have you been cooking on with them?
Before that, I actually competed on 2 different grills. I competed on a PK Classic, which is what I started with, and which is probably what I've won the most with, only because I've cooked with it the most. And then I was using the Hasty Bake Nomad 250, only because people were dogging that grill so bad that I took it upon myself to make a couple of minor modifications and make it work. And I walked twice in El Dorado. It was a double, and I walked both comps. So I was in the running to be sponsored by Hasty Bake, and I think I might have ruined it that night because it was a joke. People were coming by saying I would never win anything on that thing or whatever. So when I got called up the second time, I said, "Oh, and by the way, I did all of this on a piece of shit Hasty Bake," and the crowd just went crazy. John Lindsay, who was sponsored by Hasty Bake, turned and hung his head in shame, and I had to come home and get on Facebook and clarify that it was not a dig at Hasty Bake. I love my Hasty Bake, but and making it work when nobody else has been able to make it work consistently is, I think, and I'm not sure of this, John will have to answer it, is how I ended up with the professor nickname, because I'll take something and make it work.
Yeah, I'm sure he's lurking in the comments there, probably typing away on how you got the professor name, because I'm kind of curious about that too. But that's really cool, really cool. So, you how'd you get hooked up with Team Arkassippi?
That is just one of those things that we became friends and we hung out together before there ever was a Team Arkassippi, and when they were talking about building this team or whatever, and I guess I was just kind of in it on the ground floor. I guess I was just hanging around in Shiggin so much they said, "Hell, we might as well make it part of the team. He's going to be around anyway."
That's good.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Well, you got a pretty nice wall behind you there of awards. Are they all from this year?
2 years, except for the black ribbons. Those are Jack ribbons.
Those are Jack ribbons. Okay.
Yeah.
From judging or competing?
Judging. The 2 years that I judged. But
okay.
The grill grate in the middle, that is my golden ticket from last year, and the one above it is my golden ticket from this year.
Wow, what's the golden cow behind you?
The what? Oh, that one might get me in trouble. They have a competition. They had a competition last year at Sugar Tree. And no, Alan, I didn't steal it, but I have it. But getting in there is kind of hard if you've never been back in there. Well, I'd been back in there, so I didn't pay it no mind. And I get there, and people are running around with these cows, and they were on sticks, and they used them to line the roads so people wouldn't know how to get back in there, and people were stealing them. So this was at a friend of mine's trailer, and I was like, yeah, that one's mine. So I didn't steal it, but I do have it.
Oh, that's funny.
They're fancy.
But Alan Smith and some of those Boards Night Out guys put on that comp, and it's a really good show, and it's going to be a double this year. And it's right on the river. If you get drunk out there and you stagger, you're probably going swimming. That's how close to the water it is.
Yeah. I'm not. What time of year is that?
July 10th. So you're good.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, if it's any time now, man, it's way too miserable for that out there. Oh shoot. So, Dave, what do you got, sir? I've taken up the first 30 minutes here.
First 30 minutes. I don't know. I was just looking at your new rub that you've been posting a bit.
Yeah. I started out when I first started in steak trying to tweak some of my barbecue rubs, and that really wasn't working out. So I went all the way back to the drawing board and started from scratch, and I worked on that one for a long time. And the one claim to fame for that one is, by design, it is reduced salt. Way less salt. Because if you're layering, your other layers have a ton of salt in them already. So I left salt out, not completely out, but I left it way down the list on purpose.
Okay. It's got a nice color though.
Yeah, the color, I mean, it's just like everybody else's. The paprika provides your color. And but I use a smoked paprika. So my paprika is not just a color; it's also part of the flavor profile.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Someone asked in the comments, "What's your barbecue team name?"
My barbecue team name? Oh, my barbecue team name is Smoking Miss Piggy. I forgot about that. I was thinking of steak.
Oh, what's your steak one then?
BJ and a steak.
BJ and a steak.
Now, see, it's a comma. See, your dirty minds went somewhere else, and that's a comma
I was just getting ready to say explain. So.
between the B and the J. It's my son-in-law and myself. His name happens to be Brooks. So we knew if we did that, that's the first place people would go. So I told him, I said, well, it could be a really good steak or a really good date, whichever. But sorry if there are any children on here. I apologize.
That's funny. That's a pretty creative name. So it's your son or your son-in-law that cooks with you?
My son-in-law cooks with me from time to time. He took almost all of last year off, and I don't think he'll cook this year until the shed. He's going through some changes at work and stuff like that, so he wanted to make sure he had everything under control before he jumped back there on the cooking circuit. So
I got you.
Okay.
But he does. He comes with me sometimes in barbecue, and the problem with barbecue is I've done it by myself for so long. If you're there, it upsets my routine. That's just like my wife. I'm lucky. My wife is into the barbecue and the steak as much as I am, and I love to have her at the comps. But she's usually over in the judging tent, out of my way. So she come and visit once in a while, but she's not in my way when I'm trying to get my routine down. So.
Absolutely. So is she going to come up and judge whenever you're at Ironman here in April?
I don't know if she's going to judge or just hang out, but she's one of those. If she gets there and somebody needs help, she's going to help. And she does everything. She's done everything at these comps, from judging to data entry to, figuring out the invoices, everything short of being a rep. And I don't want her to take the rep leap.
Does she cook with you, or does she cook like compete?
No, that woman can't boil water.
Oh,
we hear her down there, so I don't know if someone can stop.
I just got the stink eye, y'all. But
oh man, that's funny. Oh yeah, there you go. Susan Hudgins is one great lady.
I'll hang on to it for a little while, I guess, as long as I can afford the payments, I reckon. Well, you're fixing to find out, ain't you, Jake?
Oh yeah, here eventually. Yeah, I got a little bit though. I got a little bit, but so what? Where are your seasoning here? We'll get back to that here a little bit. Is it going to be? I've been really, really impressed with the whole Arkassippi combo line of how fine they are made for layering. Is yours the same way, made going to be that fine, or is it going to be a little coarser?
This is designed to be a layer. And like if you take the Climax or the Steak Shake, my grind is a little more coarse than that.
Okay.
But if you're putting on layers, like I like to let mine sweat between layers.
Mm-hmm.
If you put mine on and you let it sweat, you'll see it just about disappear into the meat.
Okay.
It does really well with that. And then like in using it for back, I've used it standalone by itself on an eating steak at home. It's done well. It's been used on everything from asparagus to you name it. Hell, my wife puts it in cottage cheese. It's been so far we've been lucky. It's been good on everything. The only thing that I personally don't like it is if I'm searing a steak in cast iron, I don't like it for that. But for everything else, it's fine. So I'll take that if that's the only thing.
So a lot of people have been chiming in on the comments that it pairs well with the Arkassippi combo.
It does. I use it. Miss Caitlin Crane uses it. It's got probably 4 or 5 golden tickets this year, and
Wow.
numerous. So,
Wow. And Sonny Moody said it's great on eggs, chicken, and veggies as well.
So are you using that part with the Arkansas combo as well?
Absolutely, it's part of my Arkansippi combo.
Nice.
So, daggone.
Had to put that on the list, Jake.
Oh yeah. We'll have to hit up Chris.
Shoot me some addresses, and I'll shoot y'all some bottles up there. Don't sweat.
Ooh,
Awesome.
don't tempt us with it.
Yeah. Don't tell me. Shoot.
But we'll bring that up here to the Mid Atlantic and use it against you here whenever you come up.
I didn't say you'd get it before April. But
Oh, okay.
no, I'll send it up to you. I'll show you how I layer it, because I don't have any secrets, because at the end of the day, you still have to beat me, or I have to beat you. So, I've had a couple of people want to know how I layer so much. It's like they wanted to know how many shakes I put on. I was like, what?
How many shakes?
Oh, shoot. That's a bit much.
But I'm just in it for the fun of it. I'm having a blast, and so as long as it continues to be a blast, I will do it.
Definitely.
It has taken up a big chunk of my barbecue, but I won't stop doing barbecue because it's expensive. But I do love to do that as well. Mostly because when I'm doing steaks, it's a sprint. When I'm doing barbecue, that's a marathon. So it's a little different.
I mean, I've seen a lot of competitions, a lot of KCBS competitions now starting to, piggyback a SCA.
Yes.
Friday nights I've done a couple of them, which is nice. But at least, you get to do your KCBS and you get to do an SCA all on the same weekend.
Yeah, and usually I don't. I'll do one or the other. And that's the same reason that I typically don't do ancillaries, because it's all I can do to focus on the one thing, let alone a whole bunch of things going on at once.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's a couple comments here. Papa Joe said, when will it be ready for wholesale?
Hopefully by the end of, no later than the end of the month. I've finally got the labeling down. It'll be going to the printer next week, and that's the last piece of that puzzle. So once I have the labeling in place, I'll have Townsend make up a big batch, and I definitely will be talking to Papa Joe's, because man, they're such a heavy hitter in that market.
Yeah, Papa Joe's a good people.
So if I can get into a store like that, man, that's big feather in my cap, I think.
Oh yeah.
Nah, Papa Joe's is good.
So
someone out there, where can they get it at? I guess in a few weeks you'll see.
Yeah, we'll push it here.
We'll post it.
Absolutely. So Jim, what's it like when you came up with this rub? How hard was it to find the co-packer to match up exactly what you wanted it to be and how you wanted it to taste?
It took about a 30-second phone call to John and Ronald and talked to them about their co-packer.
Mm-hmm.
I got in touch, and I'd already known Shane and Lawson Lynn from the steak circuit, who own and run Townsend Spice. So I sent my recipe up to Lawson Lynn in an email form, which is in like tablespoons, and they convert it to pounds or whatever they convert it in. I had a sample bottle probably within a week. I had a sample bottle of the rub.
That's awesome.
And I was lucky enough that they hit it spot on very first try.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, when I first opened it, the smokiness of the paprika scared me, because the spices that they get are so much fresher than the spices I had been working with, off the grocery store shelves or whatever. Yeah. But the smokiness died in the meat like it was supposed to, and it was awesome from day one. I was really, really lucky. Townsend Spice, Shane, and Lawson Lynn, no better people in the world, in my opinion, for that.
Yeah, heard a lot of good about them.
Wow. Yeah, especially if they do the whole Arkassippi combo, man. That stuff's on a roll.
They do a lot of Malcolm Reed stuff. They do a lot of heavy hitters stuff. I was shocked that they wouldn't even have time for, especially a one-off, because we're talking about a sample that I don't even know if it's going to come to fruition and be mass produced or not. But they still treated me just like I was their number one customer, and I had a sample bottle. And if I didn't like it or decided against it, it would have all died right there. No harm, no foul.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys are really, really great to work with.
That's
Wow.
I highly recommend them. If you got something y'all been using and you want to give it a shot, I highly recommend giving them a call.
You hear that, Dave? When we get a Q check combo, when we come after the Arkassippi guys, we'll have to do something.
I like Arkassippi combo.
Yeah.
I see a lot of posts you're using lumberjack charcoal.
I used lumberjack in my PK and all, and I haven't talked to lumberjack this year. I'm probably going to lose that sponsor because I don't feel like I have lived up to my part of the bargain. I haven't been able to get them into the stores out here where I'm at. The people want it, the stores don't. So I'm not going to continue to take charcoal from this company if I can't advance this company. So, but
I see a post a lot. I mean, I see a lot. I mean,
yep. And I'll tell you, in my PK, in my drums, and just about everything that I have, the lumberjack, it loves the lumberjack. It works really, really well. It doesn't work quite as well in my stainless steel grills. I can't get the heat to even out like it should. But and everything else, I would take it into a barbecue comp today. No sweat. And you'll probably see it on somewhere in your area because the first distributor was in Atlanta and now they have a distributor out of New York. So I think they're working that direction.
okay.
So you'll probably get engulfed with it and see it in probably Aces or some small hardware store like that before long. It's really doing well.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
So you said the only thing you don't really care for with your seasoning is searing. Isn't that right? What you said, or
And that's me personally.
okay.
I think for searing, the sugar content's a tad too high.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's definitely by no means does anything to the taste.
Right.
Just I would
reason,
never turn one in. It's not an even color. It's
the
nothing I think the judges would score.
Yeah. The reason I'm asking that though is I was wondering here: have you ever turned in a seared steak?
I have not. I mostly do them at home.
Okay.
Hell, I work too long on getting the grill marks right to go to Seared right now. Maybe in the future, but
Are you all seeing much of the seared stuff down there? You know, even on one side, is that hitting down there at all?
Once in a while you'll see it, but not too often. More closer to the southeast. Gene Skillen's doing it quite a bit, and Will Collier out of Iowa, I think he's turned in a few seared steaks, but they haven't really caught on yet. But as a judge, it would be cool to see one come across my table if I was judging.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
Everybody's worried about, well, the judges are trained to look at grill marks. Well, no, they're not. They're trained to look at a steak and look for a uniform color. And if it has grill marks, uniform grill marks, and this, that, and the other thing. They're not trained to look at grill marks by any means. So do I think a seared steak would get a fair judge? Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'm going to ask you this question here, Jim. We had a whole big a Swami future telling ordeal a couple weeks ago.
Watched it.
Yeah. You were in there. One of the questions I was asked though, and I kind of have a feeling I know your answer, but as someone who does and judges both KCBS and SCA, do you think SCA is going to end up taking KCBS as the top food sports competitor?
It would be really hard to tell. I do think that they're going to lose some teams that are going to, and I already know of some that are going to go straight steak.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some barbecue teams that are pretty heavily sponsored that you won't lose those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think what this will do for KCBS is it's going to let the backyard get more recognized, because the backyard's going to come on with more people coming in and stuff. And then some of these people like haven't cooked in the last couple of years pro.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a time limit in there and they can go back to backyard. So I think you're going to see the backyard end come on really strong. I don't think KCBS is going anywhere. I do think they have a lot of work to do in-house. A lot of the problems are internal, but they're working on those every year, trying to make it more fair.
Mm-hmm.
A few years ago, we had a board that I thought would kill us, and they didn't. We survived it. And I think they'll survive this as well. So, no, I don't think KCBS is going anywhere.
No, I don't think so either. But speaking of where things are going, what do you think? What are your hopes and plans for 2021 with everything that's going on? If everything lifts, what are you have any big plans for 2021?
Well, my biggest plan for 2021 on the steak side is to travel and cook places I've never cooked, to get out of my comfort zone of cooking generally Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, a little bit of Texas and Missouri. I want to expand from that and maybe go out to an Iowa and up to a Pennsylvania, to a North Carolina, and God knows I want to do one in Virginia, because I never knew any of this existed when I lived over there. Well, I had to move to Tennessee to find out that this is a thing.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy down here in this Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania area. Well, Pennsylvania not so much, but this whole Maryland, West Virginia, Virginia area, you have no idea it's even happening. But the second you pull those curtains back, it's a whole big ordeal down in these areas.
And then, I know in y'all's part of the country, in the Mid-Atlantic over there, and maybe a little bit north, that y'all got trailer haters over there.
Oh, I know. I get hated all the time.
Well, I will say this. My first couple of years SCA, I cooked out of the back of a Ford Escape. And then I got a trailer. Yeah, I think I'll keep the trailer. Thanks. So.
Yeah. No, it's nice. I mean, the whole reason I started doing this, I got a little 6x12 trailer. It's the perfect size. You pull it in there, you set it up. You don't have to set anything up. You just unload the grill and you're good to go. Yeah. Like, it just makes so much sense. It's heated, it's cold, everyone's huddled around fires, and Dave and I were standing there in t-shirts with the heater on. It was pretty nice.
Right. I started with a 6x12, Little Red, I called it, but the problem with that one is it only had a 6-foot interior height. And I was out here in my yard one day putting stuff back in the trailer from where I cleaned up, and I hit the back door and like to knock myself out. And I came in and I said, yeah, this trailer's out of here.
That's what we do. That's a Jake's trailer.
So I went and got a bigger trailer, one I could stand up in. So
yeah, you can stand up in mine, but the little side door, you have to duck down because there's this much hanging down there. And you duck down, if it hits you just right on the ball top of your hat, man, you're saying every word in the book and your skull's fractured. It's not a good time. Oh yeah, here we go. Keith said we need something to haul those cool saw blades home. Thank you, Keith.
Yep.
He's our SCA rep here up in the Mid Atlantic, and
I'm hoping to come to. I think that one's in August or whatever.
yes, yeah, triple.
West Newton or something.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm hoping to come to that one as well because I want one of those daggone saw blades.
They're pretty nice. I mean, it's hiding right there. They're pretty sweet. I'm scared to mount it on my wall. I wanted to put it above my bed. My fiance is like, "Yeah, no, that's gonna decapitate you in the middle of the night if that thing falls." I'm like, "Yeah, probably a good idea." It would. I'd put it right above my bed and not even think twice. Yep, August 28th, Rick says.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a really cool one. I mean, Sandy Brown was down there this year. It was huge turn. I think 60-some teams there like this year. But
yeah,
it was awesome. I mean, you had Sandy Brown, you had the Garretts, and then right across the aisleway from us was a dude. He went to West Virginia University. He drove up here, and it was his first time. He never even knew steak cooking existed until he was cooking steaks because he was caught in his apartment during COVID, and he started cooking steaks. He's like, "Wow, these are pretty good." So then he competed. And I don't know how he did, but there was a lot of diversity up there. It's a lot of fun. Good competition. But
yeah, I'm looking forward to coming over there and doing some just to meet new people.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be a blast.
And we're looking to go south to try to meet new people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did cook in. I don't remember if that was this season or last season. I did cook in Florida once this season, and it's a blast. I'll go down there again. I haven't cooked any Georgia, nothing up the East Coast at all. So, but
okay,
hopefully we'll be able to if I can get my trailer through those daggone mountains up 81.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
No.
Your family lives in the worst part of 81, so it's not that hateful at all either.
That's true. That's true.
So, when are we coming south, Dave? You're kind of the leader on this one this year.
That's my teammate, Chris Barber. Got the gold the gold belt. Got the wrestling belt at Laurel.
Oh, that's right. He took it from John Lindsay, didn't he?
I like the belt.
Yeah. I said we
he won it.
Yeah, man, that belt was pretty sweet.
He's a teammate.
I'm south. Let's go.
Oh, the Garrett's got a house. Maybe we can stay there.
They got a belt up for grabs in Alabama this weekend for their state championship. I'm going down there and hang. I only cooked Alabama twice and I didn't walk, so I didn't get invited to that show, but I'm going to go down there and hang out with my teammates.
Yeah.
Support my team.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We'll have to go
absolutely.
We will. They'll all be busy. I guess I can be the beer wench or something. I'll keep them supplied.
That's right. That's right. You can sit there and hang out and have some fun.
That's right.
So, what else you got, Dave?
So you talked about you talked about doing SCAs in 2021. I mean, you're gonna try to hit a couple KCBSs and things like that.
I am. It depends. Here, COVID really hurt barbecue comps in this area.
Same with
I won't make a big long trek to cook in a barbecue comp, but some of the ones that I typically cook come back. I will definitely be cooking in them. It may not be 3 or 4, but I'm on a fixed income these days, so but it'll be at least that, maybe more
until that seasoning takes off.
Yeah.
I think there are some people on here that have seasonings, and I think they'll tell you you're not going to get rich selling that.
Yeah. It's just a habit.
It's just an honor for me to put something out there that other people like at least as much as I do. It's kind of humbling to to put something out there and not have people just throw it back in your face and say that's the nastiest crap I ever tasted. Mine's better.
Oh, yeah.
Put yours on the market, and it is a huge. I don't want to say huge, but it is an expense and a risk that you're taking. You're a little bit of money into this before you ever even know if it's going to sell.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So I went the way of hell. I probably gave away 9 or 10 cases of it. Just gave it away with my phone number on it. Say, try it and text me. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you
Mhm.
think. And so far, all the feedback's been good, and hopefully they're not lying because we're gonna try it out. And that's one of the things with me. I don't want people. I want honest opinion. If it tastes like crap, tell me it tastes like crap, because I'm going to tell you. Uh, I've been accused of a lot of things, but being a liar's never been one of them.
Mhm.
I've been
There you
accused
go.
of being, an a-hole when I'm just being honest. So
Yep. I hear that.
Sometimes
Well,
it hurts.
Well, once you get it out there, you have to let us know. We'll definitely promote it here, and once we go off air, we'll get you hooked up with Chris, and
Yeah.
at least get you his contact information and see about getting on Boost Your Barbecue, as well. So that way, it's easy for us to get here in the Mid Atlantic. But Jim, we're coming up here on an hour, sir. We definitely appreciate you being on, and anything else you have to say, anything else you want to share here.
Just if y'all will shoot me an address or two, I'll shoot you some of this rub that I still have a few sample bottles left of, and I will definitely be in touch when the labels get done at the printers. Hopefully that'll be quick, and hopefully I'll see you out there cooking. Don't be afraid to come out there and cook a steak with us. I'll still be your friend even if you whip me.
Oh man. Well, yeah. Once we go off air here, we'll talk about that and get you squared away here. But Dave, you got anything else you want to add here to the end of the show here?
No, I'm good. Appreciate it. It's been a good
We're
show.
gonna give at least one of these away here this week. We got 2 of them, so that means we're gonna be doing a giveaway here this week. And
again, sorry. If you guys are interested in the brisket raffle, please chime in. I seen one person chimed in, but if it's something you guys want to dabble in, let us know, please.
Yeah, it'd be one of those things where we do, 25 spots for $10 or something along those lines, and that'll pay for the brisket, but it'll also help us, running this podcast. It's not expensive, but it's not cheap. It does have some things that it needs we pay for to be put on Spotify and iTunes. So, we got to get a little bit of support out there. But that being said, we got a cool guest coming on next week. We'll introduce on Friday. And with that being said, y'all have a great night.